What's up, guys? This is the network back with another video, and today we are talking about how to break out of the financial trap that so many people are stuck in right now. A lot of folks are out here living beyond their means, but not always by choice. Sometimes it's survival, other times it's lifestyle choices or feeling pressured to keep up. Either way, it leads to one place: being broke and stuck in debt. Now, before we get into it, just remember that this video is for educational purposes only. If you need guidance or have questions about anything I cover, hit up the network on Discord. Telegram just isn't reliable anymore, so we moved everything over to Discord. All right, let's break it down. The reality is, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, not because they're reckless, but because the cost of living keeps going up while wages don't keep pace. Rent is eating up half of their paycheck. Groceries, car insurance, medical expenses, it just doesn't stop. If you have kids, forget about it. Childcare alone is like paying a second rent. Even when you're making six figures, that doesn't mean you're living comfortably. I know people who work full-time jobs and still have to hustle on the side just to make ends meet. It's not about not trying hard enough. Sometimes it's about playing the game smarter. That's where understanding credit and leveraging it the right way comes in. Let's talk about CPNs and business credit and how they can shift your situation from just getting by to having actual leverage. A lot of people think CPNs are just for quick flips, grabbing phones, making a few bucks, but that's short-term thinking. If you're building a CPN the right way, it's about establishing a profile that opens doors to more than just a quick come-up. So, how do you do it right? First, structure your CPN properly. Start with a clean setup. Name, date of birth, address from a solid source like Zillow, preferably a home valued over $200,000, and an SSN sequence that hasn't been used. You need an email and a phone number ready. This isn't just about creating any number. It's about building something usable and durable. Once your CPN is structured, you hit the tri-merging apps, Target Red Card, Barclays Uber Visa, Drive Time. You're not trying to get approved right away. This is about telling the credit bureaus that your profile exists, making it recognizable in the system. You're essentially planting the seed. After that, go to Credit Karma and set up a login. If it says, "We found your files," you're in business. That means your CPN is starting to merge. You can't stop there, though. You need to build it up with primary trade lines and not just AU lines. That's why we use things like Tomo Boost and Kaikoff. These add real data that shows consistent payments and responsible use, which is essential, especially as credit scoring models start incorporating more data. Here's why that matters. There are big changes coming to how business credit and personal profiles are evaluated. FICO 10T and VantageScore 4.0 are looking at things like rent and utility payments. If your profile isn't set up right, it might get flagged as high risk, which means no approvals. SBA loan guidelines are getting stricter too. They're looking at established credit history and structured files. No more sliding by with half-done setups. That's why we combine the CPN setup with a business credit build. You get a fully structured CPN file with AU trade lines, giving you a 750 plus score. Then we set up your business LLC correctly with 3 primary business trade lines reporting to the major bureaus: Experian Business, Equifax Business, and DNB. When you use the CPN as a personal guarantor, your business credit apps look way more solid. Why is this important? Because once these changes hit, having a 750 plus CPN combined with business credit means you're ready for high limit approvals. You're not scrambling to fix your profile when lenders start cracking down. You've already got your setup looking legitimate, and it's all about playing the long game. Flipping a few phones is cool, but it's temporary money. Setting up a business credit profile backed by a strong CPN is about creating leverage to access $10,000, $20,000, even $50,000 in funding. You use that funding to make more moves, whether that's buying inventory, investing in new projects, or setting up more streams of income. Think about it like this. You're not just trying to escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle. You're trying to build a structure where credit works for you instead of you always chasing money. A lot of people make the mistake of just looking for quick cash, but they're never building the foundation. That's why we're pushing this combo right now. The window of opportunity is closing as new regulations come in. When the new credit scoring models fully take over and SBA rules tighten up, the people who didn't move now will be stuck trying to fix things later. You don't want to be in that group, and that's why the Credit Power package makes sense. You're getting the CPN, the business setup, the strategy, and the tools to actually use them. We're not just handing you files, we're giving you the blueprint to make it work. If you're trying to get started, hit us up on Discord. It's the only reliable way to get in contact now. We're moving smarter, building stronger profiles, and setting up long-term success. Let's dive deeper into why this combination is crucial right now. People are seeing their financial situations get tighter and tighter because they're just reacting to changes instead of preparing ahead. You've got folks trying to catch up on rent, utility bills, and debt payments, all while wages stay the same or barely increase. Even people making 6 figures are struggling because it's not about how much you make, it's about how you set up your financial structure. Now imagine you're stuck in that cycle. You're working long hours, maybe even side hustles, but you're still barely making it. That's why leveraging credit properly can change the whole game. It's not just about surviving month to month. It's about setting up a structure that allows you to actually build something sustainable. A lot of people don't realize that business credit and personal credit are two separate entities when done right. That's why we're combining the CPN setup with a business credit build. You're essentially creating two avenues to access funding. And think of it like building a bridge between your personal and business finances. When you properly structure your CPN and link it as a personal guarantor to your business credit, you're creating a dynamic where both profiles support each other. The CPN file, with its 750-plus score and authorized user trade lines, acts as a strong foundation for your business credit applications. That way, when you apply for high-limit business credit cards or vendor accounts, you're seen as a lower risk. But it doesn't stop there. You've got to think about how to actually use that leverage. Let's say you're approved for a $20,000 line of credit from a vendor or a business card. You can now invest that money strategically instead of just trying to cover bills. Maybe you put it into a profitable phone flipping strategy using your CPN. Maybe you invest in inventory for a side business. The point is to make that credit work for you, not just as a safety net, but as a tool for expansion. Now, why act right now? It's simple. The way business credit is being evaluated is changing. Lenders are digging deeper, pulling more data, and if your profile doesn't look solid, you're not getting approved. FICO 10T and VantageScore 4.0 are going to start factoring in alternative data like rent payments and utilities. If you're not setting up your profile to reflect consistent, responsible use, you're going to hit a wall. And the SBA, they're not playing anymore. Their new guidelines are designed to weed out small businesses that don't have established, legitimate credit profiles. If your LLC doesn't have a clear credit history, your application is going to get denied outright. So how do you set it up right? You start with the basics, get your LLC properly structured with an EIN and articles of incorporation. Then you build primary trade lines, not just adding AUs, but actual primary accounts that report to the business bureaus. You're creating a profile that looks like it's been in operation for a while, even if you just set it up. That's why our package includes 3 primary business trade lines with limits ranging from $7,000 to $10,000 each. They're reporting to the big 3 business credit bureaus, which gives your profile a strong start. Plus, with nav.com tracking, you can see exactly how your business credit is growing and make adjustments as needed. People often think they can just add a few AUs and call it a day, but that's not going to fly anymore. You need a balanced profile, a mix of personal and business credit that shows consistent, reliable use. And once that's set, the opportunities open up. You're looking at approvals for Sam's Club business cards, Home Depot commercial accounts, Verizon business lines, AT&T business lines, and more. Imagine having access to $50,000 in credit across multiple sources just because you took the time to build correctly. Here's the reality. If you don't start now, you're going to be stuck trying to catch up when the regulations tighten even more. It's always better to build while the window is still open rather than scrambling later. That's why we're making this combo available right now, because once these changes hit, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. And look, I know some people might be skeptical or think it sounds too good to be true, but that's because they've never seen it done right. They're used to half-done setups that get flagged or shut down. This isn't that. We're talking about structured, compliant profiles that actually work. The best part is once you're set up, you're not just surviving, you're building. You're creating a financial foundation that can support your lifestyle, your business, and your future moves. You're not stuck worrying about the next build. You're planning your next investment, your next flip, your next expansion. It's all about leverage. You're using credit as a tool to multiply your opportunities. Instead of grinding day in and day out just to cover your expenses, you're positioning yourself to actually make moves. So take this seriously. Start building now. Use the leverage that's available before the changes lock things down. Don't be the one stuck on the sidelines when everyone else is leveling up. If you need more info, if you're not sure where to start, hit us up on Discord. We're here to help guide you through the process and make sure you're set up correctly. Don't waste this chance. Move smart and move fast. Stay tapped in for more game, and I'll catch you on the next one.